Hey folks, we're going to make a series of videos on the topic I'm getting ready to bring to you because there's a lot of information that needs to be put out and a lot that needs to be said about this ruling that came down on the 2nd of September here in Virginia to remove the Robert E. Lee statue from Memorial Drive in Richmond. It's going to be probably 3 videos, I'm guessing, because it's way more than I can get out in 5 minutes. So basically, the state Supreme Court ruled to remove the monument in Richmond to Robert E. Lee. It's a gigantic statue that was erected, I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe it was erected somewhere in the 60s to General Robert E. Lee, a Virginia native, a Virginia son, famous Virginian. He was the commander of the Confederate soldiers in the Civil War. Considered a brilliant statesman and a brilliant battlefield general and soldier. He served the United States Army, I believe, for 28 years before quitting the Army and joining the fight for the South. There's a lot of talk about Lee left the United States Army to defend his homeland, and that was what his primary purpose was. Not that, he was pro-slavery. It was just that he wanted to protect the homeland, Virginia. And so date-wise, I don't remember the exact dates, but I know that Lee quit the United States Army 2 days after he was offered a position as a battlefield general by Lincoln himself. Lincoln himself said, hey, make this dude a general. It was 3 days after Virginia seceded the Union that Lee quit. So, just for argument's sake, on Monday, Virginia said, okay, we're seceding the Union. We're going to join the other states like South Carolina and everybody that has seceded the Union over these issues. And on Tuesday, Lee was offered a position as a general, and Thursday, he actually quit and joined the forces of the South. Lee did a lot of positive things. He worked extensively after the war at what was then known as Washington College in Lexington, Virginia. Now it's known as Washington and Lee University. Very prestigious college, very prestigious law university. And Lee was also involved in a lot of other things throughout the South. I have to say, I'm sorry, I say a lot and a lot. It's just kind of a pause thing for me to collect my thoughts a little bit, get the next couple of words out. It's almost like, your computer loading kind of deal. But anyway, Lee was not necessarily a pro-slavery guy. He was, from a lot of the writings, he was opposed to it. But there's a lot more that goes into it than just being anti-slavery or pro-slavery. Regardless of what your perspective is on the war today in 2021, the fact of the matter remains, whether the war was about states' rights, whether the war was about unfair taxation, whether the war was about the South providing the financial capital to the North for the North to be prosperous, or whether it was about slavery, the fact remains that Lee fought for the side that sought to keep people in bondage. Regardless of all the other issues, that still was a big part of the battle between the North and the South, whether or not to maintain slavery and to expand slavery. Anybody ever hear of the Missouri Compromise? That literally is one of the things that contributed to the Civil War, and it actually kicked the can further down the road. Lee fought on the side to maintain slavery. Okay, that's the end of the first video. Look for part 2.